Okay, now that I've got my outer coat on and I've let it sit in the freezer for another 15 minutes, I'm ready to take my cake board off the top and finish smoothing out the top of my cake. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a sharp knife and I'm gonna find the bottom of that board. This is the same for an acrylic disc. And I'm going to just run it around the bottom of that board until I've gone all the way around. Gently lift it off. And I'm going to get my vanilla buttercream. You want to use the same color that's on the top here. And just kind of pipe some out. I'm going to go around, smoothing it out. Go right to the edges, even pushing it out along the outside just a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfectly smooth on the top because I'm going to be covering this with a drip. But if you want it really, really smooth, get a cake scraper and I'll hold it right in the middle there and just gently, gently go around the edges and get it nice and smooth. Now, I'm going to turn this over and get a clean edge, and I'm just going to barely, lightly pull that buttercream up. Perfect. And I'm going to get my large offset spatula. Make sure you have a wet, clean rag nearby. I'm going to get eye level and just gently pull it in and wipe it off in between each pull. And that way you get smooth buttercream and a clean edge. There we go. If it's not level enough for you, you can add more buttercream on the side that maybe is, this looks pretty level though. But I've done that before. If it's lopsided, I'll add more buttercream and smooth it out and get it nice and level. You can always fix mistakes on cakes. There's always ways to fix. I think I've only ever had one truly catastrophic cake fail. Okay, this is gonna go back in the freezer before I put my drip on. I have made a ganache out of chocolate and cream, and I have my tutorial for my drip recipe and the ratios of chocolate and cream on a different video that will be linked here if you want to go check that out. But I've already have my ganache made and I put it in my bottle. My cake is chilled, and I'm going to start by angling my bottle at a 45-degree angle. And I'm just going to, because I'm doing a double drip, I want to leave a little bit wider spaces between each drip, because I'm going to go back over it with a vanilla drip, because this is my vanilla Oreo striped cake. I wanted to just add the extra effect of doing the double drip. So I just go around. And for longer drips, you just squeeze longer and hold longer. For shorter, you do shorter. And I'm just gonna do a really thin layer of the chocolate on top because I am going to cover it with another layer of the white. I'm just gonna smooth this out. It's really important after you do your first drip that you pop it in the freezer for just like 5 minutes because you wanna get the chocolate set. Otherwise, you're just gonna get a mottled, muddy mess on top here. So we're gonna leave it like that. Perfect. It's gonna go in the freezer for 5 minutes. Okay, now that my first drip is set, I'm gonna go back with my second drip. This one's a vanilla. And I'm gonna start right in the middle. I'm gonna push the drip down in the middle of each of these other drips. And again, you just push a little longer to make the drip go longer. Shorter for shorter drip, and you can just vary the lengths. Now I'm gonna go around the edges, Get it completely covered with the white. Get a little bit more in here. And it doesn't matter which color you start with. I just decided to end with the vanilla because I'm putting the dark colored Oreos on top, and I thought that would give a good contrast. So I'm just gonna push the chocolate out to the edges to make sure everything's covered. And again, you're gonna need to stick this back in the freezer for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes before you put the swirls or sprinkles or anything else on top, because it can slide off. So just to finish this for a pretty top, I'm gonna start on the outside and just swirl around gently, going towards the center as I'm spinning. All right, now that my drip is set, we are ready to put the final touch onto this Oreo cake. I have got my Oreo cookies and I've got my Oreo buttercream. I'm actually going to start with the cookies for this, and I'm going to place them vertically on the side of the cake. You want to line them up. So I'll go across from each other like this. I'm going to do 6 today for these. I've done 8 before, but I'll just do 6. And then again, I'm going to go across from that one, make sure they're lined up and evenly spaced. And last one right there. Don't worry if they're not totally stable. They will be when I add the buttercream. If you need to adjust it around, that's fine to get them spaced evenly. Now, I have my buttercream in with the star tip, and I'm going to just swirl in between the cookie right to the edge of the cake. And I will go just the same height as the cookie generally. And last one. Yay. And there you go. There is my Oreo cake with chocolate layers, Oreo filling, double drip, and cookies on top. Thank you so much for joining me today on Neurotic Mom Bakes. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more tutorials like this one.